In this Arc Raiders video, I want to explain to you how to get 3 stars very easily in each of the trials for week 3, as well as I want to give you the best overall ones to farm if you're trying to point farm to climb the leaderboards, because some of these are actually very easily farmable and you can net a ton of points to be at the top of the leaderboard. Some quick reminders that having some sort of modifier on a map is going to net you double points. You can see this very clearly in the corner of the map. Whenever you highlight one of the events, it's going to say 2x points or whatever. These will include night mode, electromagnetic storm, hidden bunker, or the new hidden locked room event on Blue Gates. Just in general, look for these particular modifiers and you're going to get more points. The other thing too is that I personally like to run these solo. The reason why is because I'm typically uncontested solo to do whatever I want. Now, there are times obviously where you have a player try to fight you, but for the most part, people are pretty friendly in solos. If you do this in a team, you get shared progress, so that is something nice as well. But again, you're going to run into more PvP situations in a team situation, but it's up to you on how you want to do it. The first trial we're going to talk about is the Deliver Carriables trial. This is by far the least farmable in my opinion. You can technically do it if you want to run around and find the field depots, but it is kind of difficult. Now, you can do this in 2 different ways. Obviously, I just mentioned field depots. You just have to carry the field crates and actually insert them into the field depots. That's going to be one way to do it. Or you can find batteries on something like Blue Gate, insert them into the various consoles, and that will count as well. Now, these count for 1,000 points each. So each crate or each battery is going to count for 1,000 points each. So you really only need to do 4 of these to get the 4,000 points. Now, personally, again, I felt like the field depots were the easiest one because you can have multiple of these spawn around a field depot. For example, if you go to damn battlegrounds, you can go to this little water tower area and there's a field depot there. And in the various water towers, there can be multiple of these field crates that spawn in this particular area. I found personally up to 3 of these at any given time, but for my particular run that I did that you're seeing on screen, I found 2 of them. So this knocked out 2 of those for the raid. And the main reason why I ended up choosing damn battlegrounds as the one I wanted to do this on is because there are 6 field depots around the map, and each one of these field depots can spawn multiple different field crates around them. The easiest way to track where these field crates can spawn is going to be some sort of interactive map. I've linked one down in the description below that I find the most useful, but basically you're going to filter out everything except for the field depots and the field crates. You can click on the icons to get a rough idea of where they are. They don't always spawn there, or maybe people have already grabbed them and done this. So again, it's going to be one of those ones that you just got to get kind of lucky with and see if you can spawn in a good place early, which is why I particularly like to run this with free loadout, because if I don't spawn near the water towers, I'm just going to die and come back until I spawn near the water towers or near some sort of field depot that I can get to quickly. So this one's a bit RNG, but once you get the 4,000 points, get out, secure it. If you want to try and farm it later, feel free. The 3 areas where I've had the most success finding field crates is going to be in the water tower area. That's by far the best one in my opinion. This one in the swamps is not too bad, and hydroponics is actually pretty good as well. After that, if you don't find the ones you need, you're going to have to travel around the other field depots using the interactive map and things like that. And then you'll eventually get it because not every one of these can be hit in one raid. Definitely focus on just getting your 4 stars first, get out, and then maybe you can try and farm it later. But again, this is not one in my opinion you should focus on farming. The next one is going to be Destroy Fireball. This one is actually quite easy to do on nighttime Buried City as long as you stay in the northern part of the map near the library, hospital, the garage area, research, and space travel, and also in the Galleria. There are rollies that can spawn all over the place here, as well as in the underground subway areas near extracts. Now, you're probably going to want to bring in a kit with a heavy weapon because you can easily one-shot these, because it's going to be quite competitive to try and go after these things in these particular areas. But what I do is just do a loop around these areas because these things can constantly respawn in these various spots, which is actually quite nice because it can be easily farmable if you want to go for a high score. But if you're just wanting to get this done for the 3 stars, it takes about 8 or so to be able to complete the 3 stars. But if you're looking to farm this, just keep looping around this area, check the underground area. You'll find tons of these throughout the whole raid. Try to get out as late as possible so that we can maximize the amount you kill. You can also do this over on Spaceport during the hidden bunker event or during night raids. You can just go to the departure building or some of the other medium and high tier areas, and they're going to have rollies and fireballs everywhere. As well as on the damn battlegrounds map, you can actually go to the research administration building, as well as control tower, hydroponics, just all those various high tier and mid tier areas. But personally, I still think that night raid on Buried City is going to be the fastest and easiest way to complete the 3 stars and get the farmable points as well if you're going for that. The next 3 trials are all best done during the hidden bunker event over on Spaceport. The first of these is going to be the download during hidden bunker. This one is pretty straightforward. Basically, you're going to come over to the hidden bunker, which is located here on screen. You're going to go down there, and there are 8 total consoles with little lights over the top of them where you can download these materials. Each one of these count for 800 points, so you need 5 total of these to complete this particular trial and get 3 stars. This actually can be farmable. You have 40 total minutes to get this done if you want to linger around in the raid and just keep downloading these as much as possible. You do need to be close to the consoles when they're flashing and they complete, so that way you can get the download. So basically, in a nutshell, how it works is you'll see the little flashing lights. When it's yellow flashing, that means it's downloading, and then when it's green, it's finished. You can come download it real quick. Now when it's red, it means it's on cooldown, and then when it's not flashing, you can actually go to the terminal and start the download. Now, one person in the bunker, and there's usually a ton of people down here, need to remain next to the console for the download to complete. But after that, again, you could just farm this as much as you want. Personally, I just got the 3 stars and moved on because the next 2 are actually significantly more farmable, and you can come back to this later if you'd like. The next one we're going to talk about is the Damage Wasp trial. This one is easily farmable on Spaceport during the hidden bunker once again. Now, the main thing with this is that you want to damage Wasp as much as possible. That's where I found it worked the best. So I used a weapon like the Renegade or the Anvil to be able to shoot it. Now, I usually tried to hit him at least 3 or 4 times before they ended up dying, and that seemed to net me a lot more points than if I just flat out killed him in a couple shots. So that's one way to end up doing it. Now, where I like to do this is I like to go over to the container storage because you're going to be largely uncontested. So many people are focused on the hidden bunker event and just trying to get in there that they're not going to want to fight you when you're over here doing this. I could just go over here and farm wasps as much as I want, as long as I want, and I was able to get a lot of kills doing this. Now, the best way to farm this and make it even more efficient is to bring in snitch scanners. What these are going to do is they're going to call in enemy reinforcements. These reinforcements are going to be a mix of wasps, hornets, and all those things. It's going to be very, very easy to farm a ton of wasps very quickly, and it's going to give you a ton of freaking points. I've seen people get up to like 30k points on this particular trial, so this is one of the best ones to farm. Just come over here on hidden bunker because again, you're going to be mostly uncontested. The last trial we're going to talk about is going to be Damage Bastion, and again, this is very easily farmable over on Spaceport during the hidden bunker event because there are a lot of bastions that will spawn around the map, but more specifically, they spawn right next to the bunker for an easy couple of kills, and they will respawn here as well. Now, to get 3 stars, all you have to do is just kill 1 because it's going to net you over 4,000 points. Depending on how much damage you do to it, you will get more points. I got upwards of 4,500 points. As I mentioned before, they are going to respawn quite frequently. So the big thing you want to do is get into a position that is going to give you an advantageous position to fight these bastions. One of the best spots is going to be right on top of the departure building. All you have to do is just use zips to get up there. That's what I use. But you can take a ladder that's fairly close by as well. But zips, again, are just a little bit faster to get around. Now, bastions are going to spawn somewhere in the vicinity around there. They can also spawn towards the back away from you. You just got to look around, and if you don't see one for a while, just go see if maybe it spawned away from you, and it'll come back. There'll also usually be a bombardier as well. You don't have to fight the bombardier unless you want to, because there's usually, in most situations, from my personal experience, of at least 1 bastion and 1 bombardier pretty much at all times. If you don't have a hull cracker, you can use heavy weapons. You can use some sort of sticky grenades like the snap grenades or the trigger grenades. In general, just do as much damage and kill these things as much as you want. Again, all you have to do is kill 1 to get 3 stars. After that, you can just go back and farm this to your heart's content. Again, just like the Wasp one, you can get tons of points from killing bastions on this map. But all right, that's how you get 3 stars for each of the trials, as well as the best farming locations for each one of them as well. I am going to be doing this weekly, so make sure you subscribe for more content similar to this. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.